The Dershow.
I've gone on to say right from the beginning on what the Bar Association tells me I can't say. This was a political persecution. This trial is a sham. They, in fact, use the word sham. They said you can't use the word sham. I'm using the word sham. This trial was a sham. This trial was politically motivated. The goal of this trial was to get an ad on television saying he's been convicted. So it's all part and parcel of the same plan. I'm not saying that Bragg, the DA, coordinated directly with the Democratic National Committee or with the Biden campaign to put an ad on television. I'm saying that when Bragg decided, after his predecessors decided not to prosecute for this crime, after the FEC decided not to prosecute, after the U.S. attorney decided not to prosecute, and after he himself decided not to prosecute for this crime until he got pressure. I'm not saying that he made the decision expressly to get the ad on television. I am saying that he did it expressly to impact the election. There's no other reason. There's not a crime. It's not a real crime. Nobody in history has ever been prosecuted for failing to disclose a non-disclosure agreement. Why would anybody ever sign a non-disclosure agreement if they were then subject to criminal punishment if they didn't disclose what they paid not to disclose? It's so absurd when you go and read about the crime and the judge's instructions and the statutes. There's just no basis for anything. And anybody who votes based on that conviction is doing themselves and the American people a disservice. Vote for who you think is best for America. Vote for who you think is best for the economy. Vote for who you think is best for foreign policy. Vote for who you think is best on immigration. Vote for who you think is best on choice. Any of those things are fine. Vote for who you think is best in terms of character. That's an issue that's relevant. But don't vote based on this conviction. Just imagine the situation if this conviction becomes the basis for the election and Trump loses the election in a close vote. And polls show that the reason he lost the election is that many independent voters took into account the conviction. And then the conviction gets reversed by a higher court. Where did the American public go to get their votes counted? That would cause a tremendous problem. Also, let me tell you what would probably happen. Let's follow this scenario to its logical conclusion. Trump loses, close election. Polls show that the reason he lost is the conviction. Then the conviction comes up on appeal after the election. Don't you think that some judges, whether they be Republicans or Democrats, conservatives or liberals, don't you think some judges will be influenced and say, look, if we reverse this conviction, oh my God, what this is going to do to Americans' trust in the election? Wouldn't it be better if now, even though we don't think this conviction is valid, wouldn't it be better if we actually affirm the conviction, thereby denying Trump and his supporters the argument that the conviction was reversed and therefore the election is invalid? So I think the thumb of realpolitik, maybe the elbow, will be on the scale of justice if the conviction is up for review and Trump loses the election in a close election. So it may very well be, it will be a kind of self-fulfilling event. If Trump loses the election, he's also going to lose the appeal. If he wins the election, he may win the appeal. It's not the way American criminal justice is supposed to operate.